All right, Monday morning, 15th of October, talking red. Here we are. I'm Andy Heaton. This is Fuad Hasan. And it's been 8 years since my sports group took over Liverpool Football Club, Fuad. Wow. Turns out, completed the deal eight years ago today. Feels like a long time, but having a little look at it, what do you reckon? Progress, too slow, too fast?
No, progress, big progress, I think. I mean, from what we've seen before they took over, I mean, I don't remember much, to be honest. 8 years ago, I was about 12 then, so I can't really tell you about much then. But no, it's felt like, especially the last 3-4 years, the progress has really kind of sped up, and under Klopp.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a strange one because they've attracted plenty of criticism, as well as it was a strange one when they took over because they kind of came in on a wave of not being Hicks and Gillette, so they had loads of goodwill, and then it just seemed to be going a little bit too slow. But as you said, the last couple of years have really accelerated. I mean, if you look at that first team sheet when they first took over, it's like a horror show. Yeah. I mean, just looking at the names there, the 11 for the first games, Pepe Reina, James against Everton, Goodison got beat 2-0, awful game. I mean, how bad were we to get beat by Everton? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? How many times in your lifetime have you seen Everton win a derby?
I think that's honestly the only time I can remember. I don't remember another time at all.
Just saying. Yeah. Were you even alive the last time Everton won a trophy?
Probably not. No,
I wasn't. You won? No.
1995. No, I was 3 years in the waiting.
There you go. So the starting 11 for that game is Pepe Reina in goal, Jamie Carragher, Martin Skrtel, Kyriakos, do you remember him?
Yeah.
Paul Konchesky, Lucas Leiva, yay! Raul Meireles, all right, yeah. Steven Gerrard, Joe Cole, Max Rodriguez, and Fernando Torres. And it's fair to say, not great. But yeah, so I mean, just like the whole overview. I mean, it's interesting from your perspective because you've not really known a Liverpool not under the Fenway Sports Group ownership. Yeah. I mean, what's your feel on it?
I mean, I think when they took over, I obviously don't remember a lot about what happened before then, and the whole thing with Hicks and Gillette was obviously left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth, and it turned very sour at the end. So, I mean, they came in as a kind of fresh face, and initially we thought we would see there was a bit of investment, wasn't there? We saw the signings coming in, and there was some money being pumped in, and they took their time with Brendan Rodgers, and that sort of 13-14, I think we were all sort of thinking this is it. We're back where we belong. If we can keep this team together, we're back kind of at the top table.
But do you think the game's changed in so much as when they first took over Liverpool? All right, you'd had Abramovich at Chelsea, but since then City are spending billions, and United have suddenly spent. United have spent almost as much money as Man City. And it seems instead of it's not even like a top 2 or 3 anymore, it seems like a top 6. Spurs are much more competitive now. Yeah. So off the back of that, do you think that maybe the ownership attitude's changed in regards to signing? So for instance, we've signed Virgil van Dijk for 75 million. We made Alisson the most expensive goalkeeper in the world, albeit only for a week or so. You couldn't really see them making them signings only a couple of seasons ago.
No, I think the pragmatism that they kind of developed over sort of identifying targets, seeing that, look, there's 6 teams now competing for these top 4, and I think that drove them into kind of putting the money where their mouth is, and kind of buying top talent in Europe. I mean, they got the manager they wanted, and I think the plan was always to back him to the fullest, and I think Klopp was probably like their last sort of straw in terms of.
I think he was their last throw of the dice.
Yeah. And after that, then maybe they look to sell on, or I mean, who knows what would happen if Klopp didn't kind of materialise. So
do you get a sense that maybe they tried to do it the smart way, where Rodgers hire a rookie manager, be smart with signings, and then they've thought, well, you know what, actually, let's just go for it.
I think they were learning on the job as well. They came in as baseball owners, and the whole Moneyball thing that was kind of going on, and what they used, what John Henry was a big fan of. So I think they tried that initially, and then you could see it sort of not working out, and I think fans did get turned a little bit at that point.
But you see that a lot, don't you? Like ownership groups from all over the world come in and they think that what works in one sport will work is instantly transferable to another one. Soon find out that's not the case with football. But yeah, I mean, talking about Virgil van Dijk, segue quickly in. He captains Holland in a 3-0 win over Germany over the weekend. Scored a goal as well. Yeah,
brilliant. All I've seen is the goal, and if he's playing well and he's firing for his country, that's certainly good news for us.
And then Gini Wijnaldum doing his Maradona impression.
That was a brilliant finish. I mean, if we see a bit more of that, I think that midfield kind of, we've been talking about a little bit of a dry spell for the midfield in terms of goals and assists. I think if he can try and bring that into our game, then it's a big...
I mean, when he was signed as a midfielder who could score goals. I think he was Newcastle's top scorer, wasn't he, in the season? They got relegated. Yeah. So yeah, maybe we'll see him pushed a little bit more forward as the season goes on. Who knows? I mean, but with Oxlade-Chamberlain coming back and Fabinho yet to break in and Keita. But no, it's nice to see him getting on there. He's had a good season as well so far for Liverpool as well. He seems to take more authority on.
Yeah, I think the competition for places has really pushed him, and he's had to step up. I think you see the likes of Naby Keita and Fabinho, top European players coming in. And you can see his spots on the threat. I think they were a little bit comfortable last year in the midfield. Not that it showed on the pitch, but there wasn't that competition. There wasn't that kind of drive in terms of Klopp being able to rotate with options. And now this season we've got the likes of Keita in, and the Genie. I think he's pushing on to the level we hoped he'd push on.
Do you think it'd be fair to say that a measure of how well he's done is the fact that Keita and Fabinho are struggling to get in the sides at the minute?
I think so, yeah. I think especially with Keita, the fact that Klopp's willing to be this patient to bed him in, he could have very easily kind of thrown him in if he'd felt like he needed that sort of extra bit. But Genie's provided something else to keep Klopp's mind off it.
Yeah, I mean, just still on that game, Germany look abject again. They seem to be in a bit of trouble now, but just going through Virgil's stats for the game, scored the goals, 3 interceptions, 9 clearances, won all his aerial duels, 87% pass completion. I think it's fair to say, let's not be cautious that we've probably got the best centre-half in world football.
I definitely agree with that. I think I'd even go as far as saying with Gomez, we've got the best pairing in the Premier League at the moment as well.
But you're missing out the best centre-half in world football as well here.
Oh yeah, Degsy can just slot right in as well.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Little reminder on Sterling there at the weekend. Well in, Degsy, lads.
Brilliant tackle, yeah.
Also, Mo Salah played 88 minutes for Egypt. Limped off with a supposed injury. Yeah, sussed that. I thought it said Harry Ramsey then. Hammy Ramsey, the Egypt manager, come out and said that there's no tear, it's just a strain, so we should be fine, so fingers crossed, hopefully. And Virgil's come back from the Holland camp a little bit early, still feeling his ribs a little bit, but you'd expect. I think you think it'll be sus. I mean, what's the new competition? The League of Nations. Who's asked? So we're looking forward to hopefully get them both fit and on the pitch for the game against Huddersfield at the weekend. Yeah, no,
I think we can afford to even rotate for that game a little bit. It would be good to go in there fully firing and get that kind of tonking we've been kind of craving for after the really tough run of games we've had. So to get these guys on the pitch would be a big bonus. But I think now we've got the options. Shaqiri could come in that front three if needed, and we got.
But would not just be the temptation to go full strength though, and maybe just get big when you were talking about. I mean, people are saying, Liverpool have dropped a couple of points here and there, but you're forgetting that run of 7 games. At the start of the run of 7 games, everyone was going, you'll do well. And we've come out the back of it. We're in a healthy position in the Champions League. We're still same point. We're still joint top of the Premier League, albeit a goal difference. Yeah. And and you look at some of the fixtures of our rivals have got coming up now. There's real opportunities to try and push on a little bit.
It is. You keep an eye on that Red Star game coming up a few days later, and you wonder if Klopp would want to go full strength in that just because of the result in Napoli and try and get a firm kind of foothold in the Champions League group. So it's a tough one. I would like to see him go full strength for the Huddersfield game, but that Champions League game has just got a little bit of a edge for me. Yeah.
Well, as said, we've got lots to look forward to this week. International football's gone. Yay! Real football back in the agenda. Woo! Shows today, so all of this we're going to talk more in depth on the main show today. Me and Fuad I'm producing Fuad's going to be on it. Gareth Roberts hosting today for Neil. Happy wedding, Neil. And then we've got FQ football, and it promises to be a great week of shows. By the way, if you've missed it, great chat with Jamie Carragher at Alan Goals came out over the weekend. Have a little listen. Let us know what you think. We want to do more stuff like this, so the more people talk about it, the more chance we get to, more opportunities we get to do this kind of stuff. That's been your Talking Reds for today. How old were you when you got the Everton tattoo?
How old was I when I got it off?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tattoo. Fucking hell.
When was the first time you read that?
I think when I was playing for the first team, I think I always wore long sleeves.
Because that was the thing, wasn't it?
Yeah. But I'll never forget. I was it was just one of those things. Obviously, it wasn't there. I got in the shower every day with the players and what have you, but it's just these myths and actually people believe it. And I always remember I was at the academy years later watching James. So I was just there in the gym with the other dads and that. So some just sat there with my dad and some fella come over and went, "You've got an Everton tattoo, haven't you?" So I just looked at him and I had a t-shirt on. So I just put my arms out. And obviously it was covering me bicep, if you like, on both sides. So he's tapped his biceps as if it must be under there. So then I've rolled them, two of them up. So there's nothing there.
Yeah.
And he's going, "But you've still got one, haven't you?" And my dad just looked at him and he said, "Do you think it's on his fucking ass?"
Brilliant. Is it?
Yeah, that's where it is. That's where it was. Had to get it seriously removed.